Cardano versus Solana. Now, 4 months back, we covered two third-generation blockchains that were fighting neck and neck for dominance. And it seems that Cardano has soundly won that for the time being, and that was Cardano versus Polkadot. But a new competitor has entered the ring and is vying for dominance over Cardano's market cap, and it's almost overtaking it. With Cardano taking a huge hit to its price today, it's time for us to take a deep look at Cardano again and what's going on with the price action, especially since we're investors here. We like to buy at good prices. We don't like to buy when it's high. We like to buy when it's low, right? And specifically, let's also take a look at it versus Solana and exactly where Solana's price is at and what the charts look like. And let's make a prediction about which is going to be ahead at the end of the year and what might be ahead 4 years from now. Let's also take a look at Bitcoin and figure out if we should be worried. And I'll share some details on some of our giveaways. Before we get into that, let's welcome our producer, D Money, who is joining us from the Rainmaker Command Center.
What is up, Jay? How's it going? Happy to be here.
So good to have you here. Now, he's been behind the scenes for a little while now, and so we got the camera set up. We've got him with a mic, and so that he can be part of our show.
Yeah, awesome. Is it all right today? Can I kick the party off?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Join me, Rainmakers. All right, so I want to share my screen and jump over to what's going on with Bitcoin, and then I want to talk about Cardano and Solana. So first, Bitcoin here, and I know we're having this retracement, so if you woke up today, you woke up to some big red candles, and is this a worry for me? Well, even in the middle of bull runs, it's generally 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So this is very, very normal, and I know if you're new, it can seem scary, but what I want to point out is look at the shape of this. Doesn't that look almost exactly like a smaller version of this? So Bitcoin took a big run up here, a little bit prematurely. Early this year had this massive run, and then it's come back, and then we've resumed the bull market. So it hit some pretty massive momentum up to 52,000 and then scared a lot of people, came all the way down to 39,000. And then it's running again. But if you look at these couple candle formations, they look a lot like these candle formations, just quicker. So I'm not worried about this. I think we're still off to the races. We're going to hit some really big numbers this year. And so Bitcoin does not have me worried. And when Bitcoin drops like this, most of the market followed suit. Cardano hit some really good prices. But before we get into that, I want to share with you a call we made just a couple of days ago in the YouTube channel. Now, if you happen to catch it in the Telegram group, we made it when it was even cheaper, and that's Solbank. Now, Solbank has private transactions in a private wallet on Solana. So I am bullish on Cardano's ecosystem. I'm very bullish on Solana's ecosystem too. And Solana is one of those, or Solbank is one of those ecosystem solutions. Now, if you've joined us in the Telegram group, and you can join that link below, and still right now joining that is free, and you can just scroll down in the video, the YouTube video under See More, and click on it and join our Telegram group. Later we will close that off, and there will be actually a difficulty in joining that group, because we do get scammers that come through there, and we have to boot them, and we do we don't beat, but we do boot people who are toxic. My admins are really good at that. If somebody's spamming scam messages, they get kicked immediately. Because we try to keep that Telegram group to people who are really serious about making gains here and are committed not just to this bull run, but the crypto winter that follows and the following bull run. And that is a great place to surround yourself with like-minded, positive people. As well as, I can usually jump in there and share with you my thoughts. And I shared my thoughts on Solbank when it was way down here at 2.5 cents. Now, we released the video, we recorded the video on the 24th, it released on the 25th, saying that this was still way undervalued. And it's still way undervalued today, it's just not as cheap as it was. But it then jumped all the way up to 10 cents. And if you look on the bigger scene here, it forms a W pattern with the second leg of the W being higher than the previous leg. And so we call this a higher low. And then what often happens is it goes up on the second leg of the W, comes back all the way close to where this midline is before it goes off to the races. And unfortunately on Nomics here, we just have a one-day chart that we can look at. This would be actually a lot easier to look at on an hourly scale. And then it's going off to the races. Now, I'm a big fan on this. There's 60 million total tokens. And let's say we don't have too much information, though it is listed on CoinGecko and it's also on CoinMarketCap. They don't have any of the charts and they don't have any of the information on the tokens. But I was able to find out that they have 60 million total tokens. And so if you think about their fully diluted market cap, if all their tokens were in circulation, the market cap on this would still only be $6 million. That's really low, but it's even better than that because probably about 20% of their tokens are in supply. So really their market cap's about $1.2 million. And check out their website. It is a gorgeous website and it gives you a vision of what their wallet is going to look like. And so with their Solbank wallet, you'll be able to send transactions completely privately, and there's some very good reasons for wanting to send some of your transactions completely privately. So you can check out the website. It's solbank.app. That's SOLBANK.app. And so you can check out more on them there. And place to trade it, the place that I trade it and that I was able to buy on it is radium.io using the Phantom wallet. Now that's Phantom with a PH. I know if you're not used to the Solana ecosystem, it's hard having to get yet another wallet. It's worth it because this is where some of the gems are, both on Cardano, some of these ecosystem projects that we'll be launching, as well as Solana. All right, let's get into Solana versus Cardano, which is why we're here today. Look at this on CoinGecko, exactly where their market caps are at. See how they're neck and neck? We're at 64 billion right now for Cardano and 57 billion for Solana. That's amazing, the kind of gains that it's made. Wow. And what's more amazing is the momentum that Solana still has. I'm going to remove all these drawings so we can just take a good look at it. Unfortunately, that removed some of my charts. I called the Solana breakout right here. And can we agree that that was a lot better entry than $188? Here's what's exciting about the $188. Remember how we were just talking about W patterns? What in the world is this but a larger W pattern? And look how it wicked down, usually at the end of the W. It doesn't always do this, but it often does that. It wicks down right even with this before it then takes off up. And it has taken off up. In fact, it's already back up to $187. Very interesting, played out. This is a textbook W pattern, which signifies that the chances are it's ready to run some more. Let's take a look at Cardano's pattern. Now, I'm an investor. I've been investing for 24 years now, just 4 years in crypto. And so I don't get scared when things wick down like this at all. It doesn't even faze me unless there's some bad news that should faze me, like the CFO exit scammed with like all the investment funds from Cardano or something. That would scare me. Short of that, no. And so when this happens, the whole market dropped today. This doesn't have me scared about Cardano at all. In fact, as an investor / trader, I look at this nice rounded bottom here, and my guess is today made some very good entry points for those that were able to buy on this wick down. My guess is they made some amazing entries. I remember when it was circulating. Now, my bags are packed on Cardano. I still have a ton. I have diversified out of some of what I was holding, not because I wanted to sell my Cardano. I love the project. I love that you can just have it staked in your wallet, earning you 4.5% interest, like that comes every 5 days for an epoch. And it just is there, and it's some amazing returns. But when I was accumulating was way down here when it was really cheap, all the way up to here, and then more, and we had this large pattern that was quite interesting here. And if you're in my audience, you know that I said every time it gets close to $1, it's just so attractive, and that's a buying opportunity for me. It played out exactly like that. Now we have a totally different pattern, this forming a nice rounded bottom that we like, and that's forming some serious resistance that it's not likely to break through and stay below unless some major bad news happens and it's gearing up then for an overall run that's going to look somewhat like this. Let me just remove all the drawings here. And now, you stay tuned to this channel for my thoughts on how I think about investments, but definitely not my drawing capabilities, because I am not an artist. Don't try to be. But this is the parabolic line, trend line, that it's tending to follow. And so I think Cardano's got a lot of momentum ahead. But if you look at the two charts, Solana, I think, is going to pass Cardano. And it's not a question of whether I want that to be the case. I'm an investor. I'm not a tribalist. I follow what is making the most sense. This isn't a question of what should be ahead. It's a question of what will likely be ahead. And I think because of Solana's parabolic move here, I think it's going to pass up Cardano. It's going to pass it up by a lot. Now, Cardano may catch it, and Cardano may win over the next 4 years. But my guess is by the end of this year, I'm thinking Solana is going to be ahead. And if we look at where their market caps are now, I'm going to make a prediction where it is by, I'm going to say 2 weeks shy of December. I think right at the end of December, actually, there will be a lot of things that crash and then maybe pick up again mid-January and go off to the races again. But by the end of December, I think the market cap for Solana and Cardano, I think they'll hit about 5x from here. So 300 billion. And I think Solana is going to be ahead of Cardano. Cardano might be at about 200 billion and Solana at 300 billion. So right now, it's the 27th of October. We will see about 2 weeks to a week shy of December if that happens. 300 billion for Solana and 200 billion for Cardano. Now, I do think that they will have more room to run early into next year. I just think the sell-off will happen for two reasons. Number one, the U.S., the long-term capital gains tax are very uncertain for next year. Likely, if they pass this tax bill that I think is being proposed or talked about, it won't necessarily be retroactive to this year, but we'll see. Maybe it is. But definitely for next year, if this passes, those taxes will be hit. And so there's going to be a lot of people that are going to realize their profits this year before the end of the year, and there will be a sell-off. Then my guess is it runs. And so the way this plays out is, what's interesting in the crypto space is the market usually takes the most amount of money from the most amount of people. And so many of us who were around in 2017 were a little bit gun shy because the pullback was pretty savage. And most of that pullback happened right at the end of December, some of it early January for a lot of the altcoins, which ran January 1st through January 6th, and they did tremendous gains. And then they completely started a collapse that then, for many of the altcoins, they continued to decline for the next year and a half to 2 years. So I think it'll trick a lot of people in that it'll collapse at the end of December. People will call the end of the bull market. A lot of people will panic sell, creating some strong wicks down. And then my guess is a week or two into January, it's off to the races again. So some people are like, no, this is just, it's just trying to fake us out. Some people will wait to jump in, and then they'll kind of maybe end of January, February, start throwing their funds in again, and then maybe March or April will be our real crash for crypto, and then we will be entering the longer bear market. That's my prediction on how it'll play out. That's what I'm seeing in the data that I'm reading to date, and how I think it'll play out based on that data. I love both of these tokens. I've been a huge fan of Cardano for forever. Cardano was absolutely in the tubes when I was stocking up on it, and there was tons of FUD coming out. I've always believed in the vision, and we've seen some of that vision realized. Solana, I didn't really recognize what a giant it would be until I was trading on Solana and charting it, and I bought some around here. So I called it early. I mean, it's 10x from there, but man, I didn't catch it from all the way here at $1. That would have been exciting. So let me share with you some of my thoughts. I shared with you the charts and how they're looking for Cardano and Solana. Let me tell you some fundamental reasons that I'm bullish on both of these and what they have going for them. Now, Cardano has a solid community, one of the strongest communities in all of crypto, and it has some really big things coming down the pipeline. There's governments involved with using Cardano, larger businesses. They have a very transparent leadership. And that transparent leadership really is what has developed such a strong community base behind it. And that community is still really strong, even though it hasn't been pumping. Cardano tends to go through some big parabolic moves and then some longer retracement periods, which we saw in the chart that we were looking at. As to Solana, really, one of the biggest things Solana has going for it fundamentally is the involvement of Sam Bankman-Fried, who is the CEO of FTX, or the FTX exchange, and also his investment arm, Alameda Capital, which has been funding a lot of development on the Solana ecosystem. Solana's smart contracts have been out with working DEXs. They have cheaper transactions that are working on those DEXs right now, and they have been for a while. So Solana in that area has had a big head start, as well as the integration with FTX. That's a big deal. Additionally, some very successful video game token launches or IDOs like Star Atlas, which will be using Solana and integrating the Serum DEX into it. This generates momentum. As human beings, we have what psychologists call a recency bias, and this is part of the reason we tend to chase green candles. And it feels like what is going up will continue to go up, and what has been going down or sideways will continue to go down in sideways. And this is what leads us to often bet on the wrong horse. And this is what leads people, going back to my chart on Cardano, what leads people, because of this recency bias, to panic sell right here. Now, on Solana versus Cardano, I've been in this game for a while, and so my assets have grown. But I know many of you are new, and you're asking the question, should I sell my Cardano for Solana, or should I sell my Solana for Cardano? And I can't tell you what to do on this because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an investor myself. Personally, I'm not selling either one of my holdings for the other. As there are bigger runs, then I will be taking further gains, only because, not that I don't believe in either of them, I believe in both of them. But I ask myself where they can go from here, and the answer is, 4 to 6x by the end of this year, farther into the next year than that. But I compare that against what some of my other options are. And so when I shared Solbank earlier, that's one of the things I've diversified into, that I take some profits on some of my blue chip altcoins, which is what Cardano and Solana are, and rolled them into some of the riskier bets that I feel like are underpriced, because Solbank already just 4x'd from 2.5 cents, and it still has plenty of room to run from here. And so as some of my blue chip alts have realized a bunch of their potential, and from here might have lesser gains, I roll some of that into the riskier stuff that I feel like I understand the fundamentals strong enough that they have a good chance to succeed. I am curious to hear from you which token you think, Cardano or Solana, will have a higher market cap just before the end of the year. So that's 2 months from now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and especially would love to hear what you think specifically the price for each will be. I do want to share with you some of our giveaways, and I did promise my audience when I started this channel that if you help me grow this, number one, I would bring you some of the top interviews with projects out there doing some great things, because when I was new in crypto, I loved the interview videos because it helped me understand the team behind it. And a lot of times we don't, other than an interview, especially a video interview, we don't really get to understand who is running the team and who the team is. And so one of the things I've been bringing you is those videos. But secondly, I promised during the crypto winter, I would find some interesting ways to try to keep crypto interesting, because trust me, it gets boring. It's the best time to really be stocking up, especially if you've made a lot of gains this run and taken some profits. Set those profits to the side so that you're very liquid in order to stock up when everything gets really, really cheap. That's how you make complete life-changing gains. Well, the problem with that is it does get dull. And so I thought, well, part of my channel, I'll figure out ways to keep it interesting during the bear market. And one of those ways I thought was giveaways. But because our channel has grown and we're over 20,000 subscribers now, we're able to get enough clout to give you some giveaways if you help us continue to grow it through sharing our videos that you really like on Twitter or Telegram or with your friends, through text them the videos and, and help our audience grow, then we get more and more power to be able to give you better and better giveaways. So we barely scratched the surface on this, but we're big enough now that we can secure some giveaways for you. In fact, we're doing a couple different giveaways right now. We did a deal with Eternity Chain that they gave us some NFTs to be able to give to you. And so we have some Shaquille O'Neal NFTs. And they have a lot of different NFTs that they do. And I love their messy NFTs and their Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is one of those NBA players who reached the higher tiers of play that'll probably be remembered for the next 50 years. And so I like good licenses in NFTs. They gave us some of these cool Shaquille O'Neal ones that just launched to give away to you. And so if you join our Telegram community, we're giving some of those away to you. We also did a partnership with Pocket Arena, and as you see here, you can buy some of their castles, but we went ahead and fronted the money for 4 of these castles that we bought from them to be able to give away through a giveaway. Now, join our Telegram community below because you get to the Glean link. This is a campaign that we're running with Pocket Arena for the giveaway of these castles, and they have some simple things for you to do so that you can get these castles and you can use them in the game itself. It's a tower defense game, but because you can own some of your NFTs, it's a really cool way to be able to capture some of the value of what you're earning. Now, I got these castles, but then when I went to buy one, they were all sold out, and I realized, so I did this partnership with them. They're all sold out unless you buy them on the resale market. So they made a deal that I could buy one from them too so that I could test it out. So I got my castle actually this morning, and I was trying to figure out how to use it with my game, and I figured out, well, I could possibly give it to myself to use, but the amount of time you play, the experience that you gain, a lot of that experience helps build your castle out. So I realized it was much smarter to sponsor someone else. So I was able to sponsor someone else with the castle. And so they're earning experience for my castle. And in return, they get some bonus features like the partnership specifically is, from what my understanding of it, so I sponsor someone, I let them use it, and I sponsor a player that plays a lot. And so I let him use the castle. He gets 20% of the experience that the castle gains. I get 80%, or the castle gets 80%. That increases the value of the castle. Now, what's interesting is if I sell that castle, because I sponsored them and we have this contract that as long as he plays plays a little bit or logs in every 36 hours, the sponsorship continues. And if I sell it, then he gets close to 20% of the money made from that. So it's kind of a cool deal that they did. I'm not exactly sure how this all works, but we did get 4 of those castles to give away to you. So join our Telegram community so you can get all the details on how to enter to win one of those 4 castles.
Yeah, and this is one that I'm super stoked on. I'm like, and I have no shame whatsoever as far as entering this thing because I saw it come across the Telegram channel. It took me like 2 minutes. I had to do a few things. I had to sign up for an account. I think I had to join their Telegram or something like that. I think there were 5 things. It took me like 2 minutes, and who knows, but I love the idea of being able to because I don't have the time to play the game either. But I like to dabble a little bit, and the idea of being able to just kind of loan my castle out, sponsor somebody, and then it gains value. I sell it, he gets money, I get money. It's a total win-win. It's a super cool project.
Yeah, I love win-win situations. So it seems like it benefits the person that I sponsored. He's benefiting me. It's a win-win situation. My guess is these castles increase in value because there are a limited number. There's only so many. They've paused selling them right now, and so the only place you can get them is off the market from somebody else who's bought them, or you can win them through our giveaway. So cool thing that Pocket Arena is doing. They have a token launch coming up soon too. So wanted to announce that. We also, as we round the corner to 25,000 total subscribers, and we just passed 20,000. So at 25,000, we will start giving away some of our 401Js. Now, I went to the university in the United States, and so in the United States, they have these things called 401ks, and they're basically retirement plans. And so this was actually D-Money's idea. We we were talking about what to call these, and we thought, well, Rainmaker bags or something. And D-Money had the idea of a 401j for, J-Rain. And so we thought we'd make that fun play off of it. And so we invested in the IDOs of these projects for you. So we were able to secure 5 $200 IDO bags in each of these 2 projects. So a total of 10, 5 in each. So essentially we put $2,000 in, and we're breaking that into 10 different total 401js that we'll be giving away. Once we hit 25,000 subscribers, we'll start giving away some of the first of them. And they'll all be given away by the time we hit 30,000. When we hit 30,000, we'll then be identifying who else we're going to make a deal with for some additional 401j giveaways. So help us get there faster. We can give these away and we can move on right to the next giveaways. It's just a fun way that as our channel grows, we can make it interesting along the way of giving you some good education. So my thought is, how do we give you good substance in that we teach you the principles that are going to help you be successful? But how can we also do that and make it fun? I'm always thinking about. Now, I know some in the audience are like, don't worry about making it fun. And some personalities are like that. I'm kind of like that myself. But some personalities, if they don't have some extra fun, they don't stick around. So I'm trying to figure out ways that incentivize as many people as possible to stick here where I can share these principles that'll increase your percentage of wins over time, especially as they really sink in and you stay tuned and get it. Now, in general, if you're ready to level up your crypto game and looking for those life-changing gains, I know if you're like my friend Mark, he's here for wife-changing gains, and he wants to, he needs these gains in order to move to a country where, honestly, he's just more attracted to people from there. Or if you're here to get that really nice car, whether it's an $850,000 Lambo that appreciates versus depreciating, or you really want a Bugatti or whatever it is that you want in vehicles, well, hopefully you go for the ones that increase in value over decreasing in value. Then join the Rainmaker family through subscribing as we get into how to analyze projects in ways that turn my portfolio from thousands to millions. And that system that I use, it will help you because it helps you keep emotions in check, and it works. But before it can work, you have to understand it as well as how to look for undervalued projects, and that comes through joining us on a daily basis. If you give this video after watching it at least 7 out of 10, hit that like button. And if the video sucked and was a 6 out of 10 or less, hit that dislike button and comment below and tell me exactly what sucked so bad. And if you're liking it as 7 out of 10, would you tell me why or what you like about it? Like I said before, I'm new to YouTube creation. It's been roughly a year. I've been an investor for 24 years now, 4 years in crypto. I've done real estate and other investing for a long time. YouTube creation, I'm new at. D-Money is here helping me. He's a YouTube expert and other things. So it's fun to have him on the channel and interact with him too. But if you have some good feedback, would love to hear it, especially if you're loving the content. Tell me what you like most about it. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you next time.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, you buy before you're good. Was taught to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I'll always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time at the present. This next 5 years is a gift and a feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge to gain show. Sticking at this wrong, cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. Naysayers come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. In 2 years time the bull will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go with the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. This game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough, and that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.